Hello, welcome back to our podcast. It's been a few weeks and we apologize about the delay. It's been just a busy few weeks for us, but we're back and running. And today we are going to be talking about Graves into Gardens by Elevation Worship. Once again, I am Brendan and this is my co-host.
And I'm Bradden.
And thank you for tuning in to the Christian Music Bros podcast. So Graves into Gardens by Elevation Worship. This is their 11th studio album to date, and it was the number one hit Christian album the year it released. And it also won Worship Album of the Year at the 2020 We Love Awards. The first song is Rattle, and this is a virtual worship rock sounding anthem. It peaked at number 8 trending over on YouTube, which is pretty big with the YouTube like I forgot the word.
Algorithm.
Yeah, that word. So I forgot the word for a second on the top of my head, but that's pretty big with everything on YouTube from mainstream to Christian music. It was number 8. It was a huge radio hit, and it was all about the resurrection of Jesus and his resurrection in us. What are your thoughts about this song, Brandon?
Yeah, this song definitely, it shocked me how much it went viral. Even before it was announced to be on the album, they recorded a video of it, uploaded it to YouTube, and this song, it's amazing how far it's been. My church sings this song a lot as well, and it's definitely a viral worship rock feel to it. An amazing song that definitely shocked the worship world and kind of give them a new style and new song, which is awesome.
I think this is one of the more popular songs on the album too, which is huge there too. We'll
Yeah,
talk about the bigger one later, but this is probably one of the hugest songs off the album.
definitely.
The next song was My Testimony, and this was an upbeat song of praise and new life in Jesus. When I was listening to this album again, I think this became one of my favorite ones for an album, and overall, nice and simple, but it has that real powerful worship vibe to it.
hmm Definitely agree. It's an amazing song. Love the beat feel to it. Love the powerful lyrics of declaration of new life and what Jesus has done. Amazing song.
And from there, we go into the title track of the album, which is Graves into Gardens. And this features Brandon Lake, and it was the band's first radio hit. And from here, I think Brandon Lake went from solo from this song after this. This made Brandon Lake who he is and how big he is today.
hmm Agreed. Brandon Lake was already growing, and this song definitely launched him into an entire new level at Evolution Worship with their first number one radio hit. Amazing song. It took a bit for it to grow on me when I first heard it, but I love how it's impacted so many churches and it's become a rally cry of who God is, what he's done, and it's amazing seeing its impact.
The next song, everyone should know, but if you don't know it, listen to it, then you'll know it. But it's The Blessing. This was a viral smash hit of 2020. I think it shattered records for like most played worship song ever. It was the number one overall song on iTunes for like 8 weeks. It features Carrie Job and her husband Cody Carnes. And I just found out a few years ago that Cody Carnes and Carrie Job were married when they were on Winter Jam together. So that's
Mhm.
cool to have the husband and wife duo vibe there. And it also won Worship Song of the Year at the 2020 We Love Awards. So this album won the 2020 in 2020 they won the Worship Album of the Year at the We Love and the Worship Song of the Year.
hmm Yeah, it's so awesome. This song, like we both saw it when it first came out and the impact it did worldwide. It was amazing. And even personally, I love this song. I've sang it over my younger siblings as they're growing up and toddlers and everything, just singing those powerful lyrics over them. And it's an amazing song. I love the impact. I love how in the middle of 2020, it brought so much peace. It brought so much hope, just remembering the blessing that God's done, that he never fails. And it's just a powerful anthem.
Yeah, and you still hear the song on the radio day after day. I think this is like probably the number one played song in Christian music right now, honestly.
Agreed. Yeah.
The next song is Available. The song is a complete song. The song is about complete surrender. This is one song that I really don't know about in much in this album, but I enjoyed listening to it. There's like because a lot of these songs, there's so many good songs in this album. This is just one that's good, but it gets buried, if that makes sense.
Mm. Understood. Yeah. For me, this song is my personal favorite from the album. Even though I love the radio hits, I love the smash hits. This song is one that definitely stood out to me the most. It's one that I will commonly go and listen to and replay. I just love the song of Complete Surrender. Love how at the end of it they go spontaneous. Tiffany Hammer leading it. She does an amazing job with carrying the message. And I personally love this song. Just extremely beautiful. Well done.
Like it's one of my favorites too, but it's just like there's so many great tracks in this album. The song just gets buried beneath everything else when like But I'm the person that I like playing like 3 to 5 songs off every album in my
Hmm.
playlist, and I don't add like every song by every artist in my playlist or it gets repetitive, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And the next song on this album is Authority. This is a song on the character and power of God, and this is one of the songs I actually put as my favorite, one of my 3 favorite songs, honestly. And this is one of the first songs I heard off this album, believe it or not, when the album came out. I wasn't, to be honest with you, I really didn't know much about Elevation Worship until this album came out. So like when I just played the song album on shuffle the first time, this is the first song I ever heard by them. So, but fun fact about the song, it almost didn't make the album as well.
Hmm. That's awesome. Yeah, this album also introduced me to known Evolution Worship so much more. This is one of the songs that for me constantly gets buried that I have to listen to again to remember it. But it's an amazing song. It's something how it almost didn't make the album being such a powerful message. Definitely glad it made it on there. Love its impact. And yeah, amazing song.
The next song is my personal favorite song album. It's Never Lost. The song features Tara Wells, and when I saw Tara Wells a few months ago, or last year actually, now it's been a year now, but
Oh,
everything feels like a month away ago or whatever. But Tara Wells actually did this song by himself at a tour.
oh, whoa. That's
So
awesome.
it's the energy, it's an energetic anthem, and there is a live version that was produced into a radio hit, but there's also a studio version. But this is the live version, and you hear this a lot at big mega churches as well.
Hmm. Definitely agree. This song is not my top three favorite, but it's definitely number four. I love it. Love how Torrin Wells carries it because I think the year beforehand they released studio version. It charted on radio, but this version I feel like took it to extremely new heights. Torrin, like you said, he still sings it, and it's amazing. The song, the message of it. I was singing it just this morning, and it's just incredible how it's like you said, it's been sung in so many churches. And that key change in the middle of the song is perfect. Legit, one of the best ones I've heard in Christian music.
He does this song a lot at his own personal church too, because I know he's a big pastor, and this is one of the songs he does like once a month. I heard, so I heard that from
Oh,
people.
that's awesome.
This eighth song on that album is No One Beside. This is a moving song of worship and adoration to God. This is after that really upbeat Turn Well songs, you go to this little mellow out vibe song to this song.
Hmm. It definitely melds it out a lot more and just brings it more worship focus to it, which Evolution Worship does so well. I love how this song is, it's so simple, but yet powerful. I just love how it flows in a moment of worship of just giving praise to God for who he is.
And then the next song after that is Have My Heart, Vamp, or parentheses Vamp, I should say. And this is a spontaneous chorus. This is another one of those songs. There's so many songs on this album that you want to listen to the whole album, but if you had to pick one, this is like one I'm not too familiar with, honestly.
Hmm. Same here. Yeah. I love the song. Love how it's like a direct flow from No One Beside with a very spontaneous chorus. And my church has actually done this song a few times, but it, like you said, it's one of the ones that you can almost miss, but it's definitely a gem in the album. It's a beautiful worship moment that you definitely want to listen to.
And the song after that is There Is a King. This is a song of praise to Jesus, the King overall. I think there's other bands that actually done versions of the song recently too. But I think Evolution and Worship is the one that brought it to light.
Hmm. Indeed, yeah, it's a really good song. Not my personal favorite, but I do like Revelation Worship. They went for a new style, different vocal tone from Chris Brown, and it's a beautiful song. The lyrics are so well done, and yeah, like you said, it's been done by several other worship bands. That, but Evolution Worship definitely brought it to a new height, and it's just such a well done. I'm so glad it's on the album.
And I think the song led the pathway to their next album that just came out this year, Lion.
Definitely, yeah.
Song number 11 is What Would You Do? This features gospel artist Isaiah Templeton. It has a spontaneous chorus, and this is part two of the song we just talked about, There Is a King.
hmm Indeed, yeah. This is one of the ones I did not remember too well before going into the album again. And I love how it's just a spontaneous reminder of what would you do if Jesus entered the room. Isaiah does incredible. His vocals are amazing, perfectly fit for this song. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't get teary eye listening to this song. It's just amazing how it takes that small moment of worship and with his voice on it just leads to a powerful encounter. It's such a well done version.
And we have one more song on this album, and it's God Said Live, or God Said Live. I'm sorry, not I read that wrong. I apologize. And this is the second half to the first song on the album, Rattle, which kind of it's surprising to me because they have the first song Rattle, but then the last song on the album is the second half to the song. So it's an interesting way how they it was like a beginning of a book to the end of a book, kind of in a way, and everything's just like the plot in between.
Definitely, yeah. It's super interesting how they did that. I've never seen another album do it that way exactly. It's still really cool. Rattle, of course, the theme of it's throughout the entire album of the resurrection of Jesus, what he's done in us, Graves into Gardens.
Mhm.
Um, they definitely like how they still included it on there and didn't put into the entire song, or else Rattle would have been about a 12-minute long song altogether. But definitely cool that they put it on there featuring the end of it.
And my favorite, so that was it for the songs in the album. But if I had to choose my three absolute favorite songs of the album, I would choose Never Lost for number one, Authority, and No One Beside.
Mm. For me, I'd probably choose Available, No One Beside, and The Blessing. But really, on this album, there you can't go wrong with any songs.
This is one of the few albums that actually don't skip any songs through when I listen to it. So
Same. It's such an incredible and well done album that knocked Evolution Worship to new heights.
so I highly recommend you check out this album. If you're looking, if you never heard of them, definitely listen to this album. This song is kept. This album is still popular today.
hmm
So that's all for this week's episode or today's episode. We're talking about doing a two-part episode this week, so stay tuned for more later this week. We're gonna go dive into thousand foot crutches. The end is where we begin album, and that'll be our next episode. So hope to see you guys there. Thank you for tuning in again.